Alright guys, so as you can see, the weather is super shit now. Went back to winter in Canada. The recording for the audio for this video didn't record, so I'm redoing it now. Basically, I'm going to redo the steering today and try and avoid freezing my hands off and all the freezing rain that's coming down. So I've got to go and buy a bunch of supplies, but here's the first step of redoing the steering, is getting rid of the old steering. So, as you saw by my little intro, I said, fuck that piece of shit steering that I've been trying to cobble together. I wanted to use that old breaker bar and that stupid fucking swivel socket because, you know, it's a rat rod. You use what you got. So anyways, I gave up on that, and I went out to Princess Auto, as you can see, and I picked up this stuff, and I will show you what all of this is. So the first thing is, I picked up this piece of 5/8 keyed shaft, and this is going to be the steering column. It's like 36 inches long, and it costs right around 30 bucks after tax. So I'll basically be able to go down through the dashboard to underside of the cart, and then I still have to go pick up a 5/8 U-joint to go on the end, and then it'll turn to go towards the front of the cart where there will be the swivel, which will then turn the wheels via the tie rods. So there's the keyway that goes with that shaft. Fits right in. That's like a couple bucks. So then I got two of the like ball swivels for the rod end. I still have to go and get the rod because fucking Princess Auto sells all this shit, but they don't sell the fine thread threaded rod or even fine thread bolts. So that's a pain in the ass. So I got two of this style, and these will go in the center on the plate on the end of the steering shaft. And then I have this style, like the, what the fuck would you call it? Like the tie rod style, and then that will go in the wheel side, and then I'll have a threaded rod in between that I can adjust the length with, and it almost looks like you could thread a nipple in there, but you can't. It's just some sort of set screw. So that's what I got. These are like fucking $20 a piece. Pain in the ass. That's literally $80 there. And then I got the little collar, which will go on the end at the front of the shaft, and then instead of welding a plate to the end of the shaft itself to attach the tie rods to, I'm going to weld it to this. So that's that. That's not too expensive. That's like $5 or something. That wasn't too bad. And then you've already seen my steering wheel, I think, which is just some old chain off my dirt bike because it's fucked. So I had to get something like this to go in the center. This is like my third time doing this. So, you know, hopefully third time's a charm, but probably not because I'm a fucking idiot. Okay, so this is going to be the center of the steering wheel. Ignore the ends where the pins are and the piston still is. You can always weld it to the back. Actually, that's not a bad fit. Like that, right? Anyways, we'll see. That's the initial plan. Holy fuck, it's cold. Look at. I am absolutely frozen. And I'm bundled right up. Like, I got track pants on under my jeans. Got a sweater on under my jacket. I might have to go in and put another sweater on and find some gloves. I don't have gloves. My hands are fucking frozen. Wow, you can... There's so much weight of ice on the trees. When the wind blows, you can hear them cracking. I don't know if you guys can hear that on camera, but it is fucked. Holy fuck, it's cold. I didn't want to fucking do this. It's so cold. Okay, that's got that put in. I just got a little collar right here holding it, sliding down too far. Eventually there will be another collar on the bottom side that'll stop it from pulling up. But once it's all together, that shouldn't matter at all. It should be okay just the way it is. Yeah. Now I'm gonna work on the steering wheel, I think, because I don't have the 5/8 inch U-joint, so I can't put that on. So I'm just gonna work on what I can until the other Jeff drags his fucking ass out of bed. That guy sleeps in till like fucking noon. Been up since 8, waiting for him. You gotta go to Princess Auto, buddy. Wake up. Weather update. It's not getting any fucking warmer. Okay. That's what I've got. That was a pain in the dick to cut around the head of the piston because the grinder wouldn't quite get in there, so it's on a bit of an angle. But I don't give a fuck. It fits really good one way. In one spot. There we go. So that's going to be the center of the steering wheel, which I think is pretty fucking cool. I'm just going to end up welding that in there. And then what I'm going to do is, I'll do it the other way so it looks like it's the bottom of the steering wheel. This is going to get cut. Okay, I got to plug in the welder. Hopefully it doesn't piss me off today, or else I'm going to be getting fucking launched. That. Yo, white there. Fuck, that was hot. So now when I sink it down into this, and I weld it onto this, it'll kind of look like it's almost supposed to be there. It probably won't, but that's what I'm aiming for. So, don't judge. So cold I almost want to grab onto this and use it as a hand warmer, but I know I'll regret that. shape. It was really hard to get the weld in here because, especially with this having, you can only weld for so long before it flips the breaker, I wasn't able to just keep laying the heat to it to get it to sink in to this metal. I believe this is cast. It sure welds like it's cast. So that was a really big pain in the ass to weld. But around here and this stuff, I could actually get the heat going pretty good to the point where it was glowing red and I could just glob it and it would just kind of run into the chain. So that worked really well. Now my next step is I've got to weld that hub to it. Anyways, I'm going to see what I can do to get this centered up. I got to grind it down, clean her up, and then see what I can do. Oh yeah, I'll take a sneak peek. Steering wheel. Fucking mint. Just quality. Alright, well, here's the update. Jeff finally woke up. He went to Princess Auto in this fucking shitty storm that started out as freezing rain, and now it's switched to like ice pellets / snow. Absolute shit outside. The drive there was fucked. Everyone's doing like 30. They forgot how to drive. Yeah, this is what it looks like outside now. Like, yeah, I remember the beginning of the video. There was fucking nothing on the driveway, right? Now, like, look at the fucking place. It's a winter bullshit land. Alright, so first issue I've already noticed, and I probably should have checked this before I went back to Princess Auto. These little tie rod ends that I bought, the actual bolt part of it that would go down to this hole is fucking minuscule compared to the holes that are in here. Then I was thinking, you know, I had these new tie rods from, like, for my S10, and then I never ended up putting them on because I did the straight axle swap, right? So I'm just looking. I actually haven't tried this yet. If these fit, I'm going to use them. They fit. This side's fucking huge, though. I probably just cut that off. Weld a bolt onto it. I don't have the receipt, so they're not going to let me fucking return it. The boxes are destroyed, so may as well fucking use them, right? Look at that. Brand new. Brand new. And this is probably a weird thread that I'd probably never be able to find. Looks like a fine, looks like finer thread. So I'll probably end up lopping them off here and then welding threaded rod to it. That'll thread into the other end. Oh, also, I get to return those other tie rods, and that'll get me $40. Beer money. Oh, beer, by the way. So, what the fuck? Ruh-roh. It's going to be in my pocket, I guarantee it. Wow! I fucking put it in my pocket. Okay, so I've got to redo this because my fucking Go Mediocre doesn't like to record sound. So anyways, this is what I've done with the steering. This would have been like a hub that you would have welded a sprocket to. And then it actually, I thought it was going to work out that it would sink inside, but it doesn't. So anyways, that's welded to here. I put the key, I put the keyway in the keyed shaft now, so that's good. I moved the collar down to here because it sits better. And then if you come around down this way, underneath, you can see that, close the drawer, you can see that it comes down to the U-joint, and then this all has the keyed shaft in it now, and the U-joint spins up to there, and actually it works perfectly at that angle. It's a little less than, I'd say it's probably between 35 and 40 degrees, the angle. It's pretty good. It doesn't bind. It works perfect. And it's going to be good for this. Now, the one thing that I don't like about doing the steering this way, because basically I'm just going to have that shaft, this shaft right there is going to end about here, and you can see where that is in relation to where the tires will sit. So you can see that. So I'm going to cut it about there, and then I'm going to have a collar that slips on, and then on that collar will be welded an arm that comes down, we'll call it the Pitman arm, and then the tie rods will be bolted to that. So when this spins, it will pull and push the tires. Now, the thing I don't like about that, and the reason I wanted to go with like a rack and pinion or steering box, is because with this style steering, if you put your hand at the top of the steering wheel, you go like that, and that's pretty well almost a full turn to the left. Like that's about as far as the wheels will turn to the left. And same thing to the right. But with a steering box, because it's geared inside and it's geared right down, you know, if you turn to the left, you would go like that, and that would be a full turn left, full turn back to center, and a full turn right. Which is just better for something like this, I find, or for anything, really. Unless you're in a racing go-kart, which this isn't. But, you know, if you hit a bump in this, or you hit something with one tire, it's just going to rip the steering out of your hands, and it'll force this tire over probably to a point where it's going to bind with when the Pitman arm comes up and binds with the bottom of the frame, which is whatever. But the good thing about this is, I'll show you the collar here. So, if I ever do come across a cheap steering box, or rack and pinion, whatever you want to call it, all I have to do, because I'm just going to cut this to fit, all I would have to do is unbolt this collar with the Pitman arm, slide that off, and then I would put a U-joint, I would cut it back and put another U-joint on, and then from that U-joint it would go right to the steering box, and then, or rack and pinion, and then from there it would go right out to the, like the knuckles. So this is pretty good, because one day if I do come across, ideally, the rack and pinion from like a club car golf cart. I was looking at my dad's golf cart, and it's very, 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 very close to being the perfect width and everything for this. So ideally, that's what I would do. There's a golf cart place about 2 kilometers that way, and I went in there asking if they had any like, wrecked golf carts or used steering, rack and pinion steering they would sell me. And they kind of looked at me like I had 2 heads and said they don't sell used parts. And I'm thinking in the back of my head, well, what do you do with the trashed golf carts? You just burn them? You throw them in the garbage? But I laughed. My dad kind of laughed at them and said, well, obviously you don't want business, so. So that's where I am. I'm going to end this for now. It's super fucking cold out. I'll show you again the weather. It's not getting any better. Actually, you should have seen my brother is over there in his two-wheel drive Sierra, and he was trying to get it into the backyard. Well, it's not really much of a slope, maybe like 5 degrees up the lawn and into the backyard. But when you're in a two-wheel drive long box pickup with no weight in the back, like, he must have tried for a half hour. I just sat there laughing. It was great. Anyways, thanks for watching, guys.